Hello, BookTube. I've got a poem for you today on this beautiful Friday here in Boston. And once again, we are drawing from the FSG Poetry Anthology. This is edited by Jonathan Galassi and Robin Cresswell. It's just a naked hardcover that should still be in your bookstore. It came out at the end of last year. And today we are going to read a poem from 1976 called Sea Grapes by Derek Walcott. That sail which leans on light, tired of islands, a schooner beating up the Caribbean for home, could be Odysseus, homebound on the Aegean. That father and husband's longing under gnarled sour grapes is like the adulterer hearing Nausicaa's name in every gull's outcry. This brings nobody peace. The ancient war between obsession and responsibility will never finish, and has been the same for the sea wanderer or the one on shore now wriggling his sandals to walk home, since Troy sighed its last flame, and the blind giant's boulder heaved the trough from whose groundswell the great hexameters came to the conclusion of exhausted surf. The classics can console, but not enough. That is called Sea Grapes for no discernible reason, and it's by Derek Walcott, who is most famous, I think, for modern verse version of Homer called Omeros. It's kind of not a version of Homer, but really an echo of Homer that I think is often very effective. It's a book that I wish I had. Every time I see a hardcover with a dust jacket at the Brattle Bookshop here in Boston, I always regret when I don't grab it, because I would like to give it another try. But is this a poem? It's the question that we are often coming across when we encounter things in the FSG Poetry Anthology. Is it a poem? One thing that I would say against it being a poem is that it's completely formless. If you wrote this as a paragraph, nothing that you read, if you knew nothing about this and you encountered these exact words in these exact order, written as a paragraph instead of in verse, nothing in it would lead you to think, this is a poem. Someone's tricking me, someone's written this out. No, nothing in it would lead you to do that, except maybe the thing that is in its favor, which is the weirdly beautiful poetic language that runs throughout. The idea that a schooner might be tired of islands, or what was that other one? The blind giant's boulder heaved the trough from whose groundswell the great hexameters come to the conclusions of exhausted surf. That's very good and probably wouldn't occur in normal prose. The blind giant being referred to there is Polyphemus, the Cyclops, who was blinded by Ulysses and his men, and when they made their escape, they ran down to their ship to get away. Polyphemus had only one eye. Of course, he was a Cyclops. He had only one eye, so he was blind, but he was also immensely strong, and he was hurling boulders, trying to hit them. Just a lucky shot. And the same thing, there's another, there are Homeric echoes all throughout here. The part about the adulterer hearing Nausicaa's name in every gull's outcry probably refers to naked Ulysses being washed up on the shore and being encountered by the little girl Nausicaa. Not terrifically happy there with Odysseus being referred to as the adulterer. I mean, it's not like he had much of a choice, right? I'm sure that it's not like he was wenching around at Troy. He didn't have much of a choice when you're stuck on a beautiful immortal sea nymphs island for years. But that would be a mark in favor of the poem as a poem, would be that it exalts in language in a way that we expect poetry to, but that we don't expect prose to. I don't think that's a fair expectation. It lets prose off the hook a great deal, and also opens the door for poetry to become absurd, for it to become rhetorically absurd, which this poem is not. I have no idea why it's called Sea Grapes, and I also have no idea where that last line comes from. That last two-sentence line, the classics can console, period, but not enough, period. I don't know where that comes from. I think ultimately it might just be a sort of tin note reminder that although Derek Walcott was a really good poet, he was a bit of a moron. The classics don't pretend to console. They don't expect to console. They don't aspire to console, whether enough or otherwise. They don't expect to do it. It's a very odd way to end a poem that is otherwise insightful. it's a very parochial way, and you never know when you're going to get that note with Derek Walcott. But I wouldn't say that it's a complete failure. It's a beautiful thing. So there we go. We're still managing every once in a while, very tentatively, to find some blueberries to pick in the FSG Poetry Anthology. I'm not going to push my luck. I'm not going to try again tomorrow. I'll let it wait. I'll give it a little time. Find a poem somewhere else. And who knows what that poem will be? Maybe something a bit longer? None of you seemed to mind when I read a little bit of a longer poem. I might do that tomorrow. In the meantime, I hope you're well, and I will see you soon. Oh no, I said I hope you're well. Oh, BookTube, I hope you're doing well. I really mean it, but I should still scrub it from my vocabulary. It is totally soiled. Anyway, I will see you tomorrow. Thank you, BookTube.